Well, Scott and Darren, thank you for joining me today. It's nice to get you both together today. Firstly then, Scott, there's been a lot of rumour and conjecture going around about the club's ownership. Could you provide some clarity on that situation, please?
I can. I own the club. No, I mean, it happens in every pre-season, off-season inquiries into the club. Probably more so this time because of the moratorium period that we had for 6 months on the land. But actually, we've had less inquiries on the club this year than a normal season. So it's, worked that one out. But I think it's something I've always said. I've said before, if there's somebody that comes available around that's got better plans than I have with more money, then I'd seriously look at it in the club's best interest. But that's still not happened, and I'm here. I've been trying to do what's right for the football club ever since I got here. I'm still doing that. We've come through COVID in some really difficult times, and trying to move forward in a positive way, and the same we have done, start a new season like we have done the last couple of years.
You speak about moving forward there. It's actually been somewhat of a successful few weeks with the season tickets going on sale, and they're actually ahead of what the normal schedule would be. How pleased are you with that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, at the end of the day, this football club's here for the community. It's here for supporters to come and enjoy watching football games. That's why we put a team together. That's why we appoint managers. That's why all these people work in the football club is to try and be successful on a Saturday and a Tuesday in this league, because that's the way it works. But that's how we come to work. It's what we work towards. Season tickets have, as you say, ahead of schedule. As much as I've been told that there's some negativity around that, but supporters that want to see this club succeed are talking and doing their talking by buying season tickets, and so I'm really pleased, and like I always have done, here to talk to supporters and give some clarity on a few things.
Darren, you must be pleased to have the supporters back supporting you once again.
Yeah, no, it's a massive part of it. I mean, having a year without support is tough. So people think it's tough watching from home. It's even tougher being on the sideline. So to have some atmosphere and camaraderie and some interaction, it was because we worked so hard in that first year to build interaction and that link between the players and the supporters. So to kind of unwind and undo all of that work, both from the supporters' point of view and from the players and the staff point of view, was obviously detrimental to winning games. So no, it'd be brilliant. I'm looking forward very much to tomorrow. And I've said repeatedly, the only game really I enjoyed last year was Maidenhead at home, and that was only because the supporters were there and the atmosphere they created. I'm not surprised that we're ahead on season tickets. I always think that the real true quality of our club always steps forward, and in spite or despite of anything else. So that doesn't surprise me at all. I think we unified and united under some difficult circumstances last year, on and off the pitch, and I think we're seeing the benefit of a really committed group of people that, like Scott said, they want to see us do well. So it doesn't surprise me at all.
Scott, last year obviously there was the time where the news broke regarding the stadium sale. Can you offer any update on that at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm still in a position where evaluating options. Obviously, as we went through the moratorium period, some inquiries came in. I'm trying to do what I've always said is I've got a plan for the football club and surrounding land, and that's plan A, and if we have to look at plan B, plan C, we will. But look at the options that are available and do what's right for all parties. And I'm still committed to doing that. That's why I have not rushed into signing a deal yet. But we are in discussions with a couple of people at the moment, and hopefully I'll be able to update on progress as we move forward. But simply, there's been nothing to update people on, apart from to say that there's nothing to update you on at the moment. So as soon as there's more to tell, I will. I think I brought it up at the Alliance meeting, and I spoke to them a couple of weeks ago and said that that of where we are in that, and we'll try and move it forward. Obviously, it's the immediate concern is making sure that we're competitive, that we're structured operationally as a football club, that we can, have fans back in the stadium, that it's safe, that it's a good environment to be, that we're competitive on the pitch, that we've got the resources needed to be competitive. So that's been a focus, certainly for the last couple of months. And and obviously as we get into the still close to the season, then things off the pitch will hopefully develop and come forward. With regards to the SSDC, the council deal, I've spoken to them. That deal, as far as they're concerned, is still available to the football club, still available to myself. So we have kept dialogue up with them. Been very grateful to the council for their support through this time, and for providing that deal. And it's something that we'll review as I'm doing what I think's right. I'm listening to all those that have shown interest. I'm trying to look at what the different opportunities bring to the football club, and that's why it's maybe taken a bit longer, why people have maybe frustrated that because I made this announcement before Christmas that we haven't done anything since the moratorium period's been expired. But it is about trying to do the right deal, the deal that works for everybody.
Thank you. Moving back onto the pitch, Darren, there's been lots of rumours about Albi Skendi. Can you provide some clarity around that situation?
Yeah, Albi, unfortunately for us, decided to stay in the States, where he's had long time and family connections and ties out there, and has decided to stay out there. So we obviously still hold his registration. He's still contractually a player for Yeovil, and he's still got that for another year. And he's decided to not come back. I've got nothing against Albi. It's his life, completely his life. It's not my life. So he needs to make the decisions, the benefit of his life and lifestyle. But for me, like any player that does this, and this happens at every club, every month, every year, all the time. But for all these situations that I've experienced like this in my career, I just concentrate on the ones that want to give their all for the football club. And we've seen so many wonderful examples in the 2 years and longer. Look at Terry, for example, of people who are heart and soul and everything. He's committed to playing football and doing their best for Yeovil, and I don't want to spend my life worrying about those that don't see it that way. So listen, I hope he's safe, and I hope he's well, and I hope he's in good health. And like I said, we'll see how it goes from here. But it doesn't need to be any sort of end date to that. We'll take it week by week and work off of that. But I'd be more interested in the new players and what they're going to bring than a player that's not going to obviously appear in the short term.
You mentioned the new players there. How have they been settling in over the last few weeks?
They've been very, very good. It's a very different team that's going to have to play a very different way and do things differently. We are probably out of that stage now where we have a right to turn up and kind of forcefully take wins. We're going to have to go about things a little bit more smart and intelligent, but they've been excellent, really excellent, and they're going to create a new dynamic. But the biggest thing for us was the change in athleticism, and there are some frighteningly athletic young men out there now, and old men. I've got to say, Mark Little, despite his age.
I wouldn't call him old, would you?
Yeah. But he is not missed a minute of the running, and so that's been really good in his character. But they've all been great in their own little different ways, and the biggest thing is that we have to kind of cut through and unfilter all our work, because we need to be ready for 3 weeks tomorrow, when the sleepless nights begin again. But No, it's been very enjoyable. I've got to say it's one of the most enjoyable first sort of 3 weeks I've had in my 20 years. So, no, been very good, very good.
Scott, looking slightly more longer term now, what would success be for you this season?
Well, obviously our goal is to be fighting for those playoff positions just the same as it has been for the last 2 seasons. So our goal remains the same. Obviously the way we go about it this season is different. It's something that Darren and I have spoken about long and hard, about looking at the pluses and the negatives from the last 2 years and trying to find a formula that works for us this season. Obviously, the landscape has changed. I mean, you look at the 2 years that we've had together, the last 2 years of, the 2 years that I've been here and I've been chairman. It's been a rough road. It's been a really, really tough time. I think it's not something that I take. I've taken light-hearted. It's been a tough time when you think about having the first professional game called off for racism issues with supporters, to COVID stopping the season temporarily just as we were getting back into form, having to play playoffs, not just not just in an empty stadium, but having players and a management actually living in the ground in order to be. I mean, you talk about COVID bubbles now, but we made the first COVID bubble, really, didn't we? It was unbelievable dedication from players and and the staff.
It was an entertaining bubble.
Entertaining bubble. And then all the and obviously all the difficult challenges that we've had in the last season that everyone knows, both on and off the pitch, not playing with supporters, having huge financial constraints. We've. The revenue that we've lost this season last season is phenomenal, and the assistance comes. We had the issue of loans versus grants. We get far less than what we felt our share was. I was obviously quite public about that, especially from the National League's point of view as well. Then we get into the issues of obviously passing of Lee, our captain, which is took a massive toll on the people around the club. So it's been a really difficult time, and actually we're not starting the season from the season from scratch again, are we? We're starting with the fact that there are still we've still got to make the stadium safe. We've still got to make an environment that people want to come to. We've still got to get the offerings right. We've got to get the operational side right. We haven't done it for a year. We've got to We've had to create a maintenance program to make things better. We've changed things around, So we're not just bringing supporters back in. We're trying to make the experience better. All the promises that we made through the first year that we weren't able to implement in the second, or the last part, the first year and the second year, we're now going to try and implement. So, with new bars, changing the way that, the social impact, is so different areas that people can go to, deboarding the boardroom, things like that, trying to make it more fan orientated, make it exciting to come, and that has to be done off the pitch as well as on it, because people, we want people to enjoy their experiences again, especially after the horrendous couple of years that everyone's had, not just the football club, but society and COVID and everything that goes with it. So it's important that we bring all that together. And I have to say, the staff here have been unbelievable. James Hillier and his team have been unreal. They have, they've seen lots of changes. They've seen lots of operational new standards coming in, and they've adapted brilliantly. They're looking forward. We're looking forward to tomorrow to having the start of the season, if you like, with supporters coming in. A lot of those changes are coming in bit by bit, but certainly as we start the season, you're going to see a very different Hewish Park and a different setup here that's going to be more inviting and more entertaining. And hopefully rumours will stop and clarity will be seen, and the team will evolve and the squad will evolve, and we'll finish those those last bits of the jigsaw that we believe we need, and we'll be back together as a Yeovil family that we started off and tried to be. That's the aim. That's the way you think. Nothing off the pitch should stop us doing that now. And that's still my goal. That was my goal. That is my goal. Anything changes to that, I've always said I'll keep you guys informed, but nothing has changed to that yet. If things change over the coming weeks and months, then you'll be informed, and keep you updated. And and that's my plan. That was my plan. That was what I promised when I came in, and that's still what I want to do. But I have to say, it's been a difficult 18 months, and trying to do what supporters want all the time is not been easy, and it's a difficult time, and sometimes you have to prioritise getting this right so that we can move forward. And that's what I've done. That's what we've done, and and we look forward to starting a new season. We look forward to tomorrow.
Certainly. Finally, then, Darren, what are your expectations for this season?
Win the league.
Yeah. we got to win games, haven't we? The only expectation is we got to win a game at a time. I don't think. Unfortunately for you, Sam, I think it's a really, really rubbish question. And I think the question is pointless, because the short-term mindedness of everyone in football, manager, players, supporters, chairman, it's just week to week. You win lots of week to weeks, or Tuesday Saturdays and Saturday Tuesdays, and you've got a great chance of winning the leagues or leagues. And if you don't, the short-term mindedness of it all is pretty relevant and out there all the time. But I don't think Mark Little's here to finish 16th. I don't think Wilkinson, after not really playing last year, has got the mindset of finishing 12th or 10th or something like that. So I've really enjoyed working with this group, and they're a very ambitious group. And part of that was, like what Scott's alluded to, listening to supporters, because we all hear you. There's a lot of you. And we tried to put together a young, hungry side with some good experience. But Staunton at 25 is an experienced footballer, over 200 games now. Gorman's an experienced footballer. So experience isn't just defined chronologically. Otherwise I'd be inexperienced at 38, but that's not the case. So you got to look at what people have been through. But I'd like to win. I'd like to sleep this year. I didn't sleep much last year. And as Scott was talking there, I thought, I wonder who's aged more in the last 2 years, me or Scott? And I think it's definitely me. But no, just winning, and tomorrow's the same. I'd like to, we want to win tomorrow, and they're very, very competitive, this group, in a different way, but very, very competitive. And like I said, it's been a really encouraging first 2.5 weeks, really 3.5 weeks, sorry, and their commitment to the cause or the new way has been incredible. But we're going to have to be different. You're not going to see the same product, because there's different ingredients that are it's going to come out another end of a completely different style. So everyone's got to be open-minded, but I'm guessing as long as we win, everyone will go home happy on a Saturday, including yours truly. Scott's never happy, but that's what we've got to work towards.
Well, thank you both for your time.